Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in the very first episode of our series, The Real Talk TO, where we will be discussing everything real estate with different exciting segments.
So we'll kick things off with the latest news, then jump into a quick market pulse, breaking down how the market is actually moving and the key things you need to know. After that, we'll show you some incredible deals of the week.
Then we'll hit the streets and hear directly from the public, followed by our questions of the week, and to wrap it all up, we'll finish with the market forecast so you know what to watch going forward. So how do you think the tariffs that started, earlier this year shaped overall buyer confidence in the GTA market?
That's a good question. In fact, tariffs have made a huge difference in the market since it was the tariff started in spring of this year. And what that did was not directly. The tariffs affected more Americans more than it did to us, but it created that the scary factor. Definitely because of that, we lost a lot of jobs here, and the buyer confidence. The buyer confidence is something which really pushed the market down in terms of supply and demand kind of thing, because that was just one side of the coin. Another was the power sales that were coming up. So both getting together, that really hit the market. So tariffs did make a huge difference in the buyer confidence.
And do you see it? We're going to talk more about it later on. Forecast. But do you see it still affecting it today?
Things are gradually, getting into control, because what the Prime Minister has done, and the recent past is going out to different countries, trying to expand our exports. Basically, not just to the U.S. has been our biggest importer of goods, so that's something we're totally dependent on the Americans, for the purchasing of our items here. But what that does is, when the government is reaching out to other countries, that opens up a lot more opportunities, which is what is happening right now. So there's billions of dollars that are coming in, investing into Canada. So I think it's more like a long-term plan, and definitely it'll be, and this is creating more positive outlook for the consumers as well, for the Canadians as well here, that this tariffs, definitely the threat is still there, but the government is doing its best in terms of building more resources, building more opportunities from other ways other than the U.S. They're expanding to other hemispheres or other countries. Means we are getting the funding from other countries. They're investing into Canada, which is we have a lot of knowledge base and natural resources as well. So that's something which is positive.
So there was also that recent news that came out of IRCC reduction in the amount of PRs that they're giving out and the student visas. How do you see that affecting the rental market and overall GTA market?
The immigration and student, that was a huge should I say a negative point for the government, because in the past 10 years what the Liberal government has been doing is there has to be a process of getting the people in, so the crime rate and all that, which are an indication of how things were handled. So definitely it's in the right direction, where the immigration and the student visa being curtailed is a good thing for the Canadians, because what it does is it just gives a breather for people who are already living here, and also for the government to plan the housing, because housing was a biggest issue. Going back to so many years where we don't have that much housing. The need is there. But now, because of the affordability, people can't get in. But with the students and with the immigrants that were coming in, it makes it more difficult, more pressure on the housing. So the impact on housing directly is because anybody moves in, doesn't matter students or immigrants, they need a place to stay. When it reduces, there's a huge demand. So what it does is because the rental value in the last couple of years, the prices just went up so much in a short time, that actually gives the new renters and even those who are renewing the rental the tenancies a breather, giving more. I see the rental value is going down, which is a good thing. What the rent is, 2,400 square feet condo for $3,000 just doesn't make sense. Even people getting basement were $2,400. That's what it was in the last few years. Those things are coming down, which is a good thing for the renters.
So will this shift give renters more leverage in terms of getting something that they want, more closer to they want at least?
Yeah, but if you look at core GTA, core Toronto suburbs, like this demand is still higher compared to other greater Horseshoe area. The tenants who are or renters who are in GTA would definitely be having a lot more options now, and they're looking for downtown core. Then get definitely a lot of condos that are available, more condos that are being built, which are being released in the market.
Mm-hmm.
That's something which the rentals would have a lot of options. I know in downtown core, like the rental values have dropped, so the tenants would have better opportunities, better options now compared to the last couple of years.
So what are your thoughts on the new interest rate news where they decided to keep it steady? I mean, where do you see it going next year onwards, and general thoughts?
Yeah, okay, so that's a really good point because there are a lot of people who are dependent to this or really watching where the interest rate is going. This is the third consecutive announcement where they actually kept it steady at 2.25, the Bank of Canada rate,
Mm-hmm.
that is. It is a good thing in the sense of if the rates had dropped, let's say if they dropped the rate to 2%, then the consumers or the people who are buyers or sellers, they're in the mindset of there is one drop now, so there'll be more drops coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The Bank of Canada will be dropping the rates more. So what that does is now, and also the Bank of Canada gave indication that the rates will be steady for some time. In their words, that means maybe by till summer they will not be changing it, or at least that's what the verbal indications are. And most of the banks, the top 5 banks, they are still in their outlook for 2026 is 2.25.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all the major banks, except I think Scotiabank has in fact it'll go up to 2.5. Mm-hmm. So the interest rate may not be going down as low as they were during the COVID time, but 2.25, keeping it steady, actually gives a more kind of balanced approach to the market and shows that the market is, in fact, this is the bottom that we have reached. Mm-hmm. That's what the indication is, and it'll be going up. And that's what I've seen on the market as well, on the ground, basically, that things are more steady now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So add on to what you said, for example, in COVID, where it was very low. And I see that as an effect. If it goes too low, then they have to go too high. You see that pattern possibility.
That was talks in the early summer, when the tariffs were really at peak at the time, or tariff conversation. But I don't see the interest rate dropping to that level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You're looking at more from what the indications are now, and more what the banking professionals are talking about. It's more it'll probably be 2.25 mm-hmm. or maximum 2%. That's a stretch, but if the market is more stable, which is what is showing the indications, they may even go up 2.5. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in interest rate rising too high, for example, now we're seeing a lot of power sales. If you can touch up on that as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's a good question because power of sales is a serious issue. For those who don't know, power of sale means a homeowner that is unable to pay their mortgage, the bank takes over. So we are seeing an uptick into that. There's a huge supply of power sale properties starting this year and also going forward. So what happens is people who got their mortgages locked up in 21, 22, but usually people have 5 years, 3 to 5 years. So 5 years from there is you're looking at till 2027. Mm-hmm. So those are kind of maturing now. So then they have to renew those mortgages. So 2025, you will see an uptick of those renewals. Mm-hmm. So those people who had locked in at say 2%, now this average what their people are getting is about 3.5 to 4.5 range, and that's almost a double of what they will be paying. So double interest. So that's kind of shocker. So many people have lost their jobs as well. So for those people, it's they're cornered pretty much. They don't have to do anything other than selling the property. So that's the reason you have seen the inventory going up. But in the last few weeks, or last 3 to 4 weeks, it's been the sale activity has gone up. There's a lot of multiple offers as well in different areas, different pockets of GTA. So the power of sale coming up in the market is not going to go down. In fact, there will be more coming up next year as well. So it all depends on the power of sale, the number of listings, and the sales have to catch up. If the sales catch up, then you would still see the market being stable. Mm. But if the sales don't catch up, if we have more power of sales and we also have more listings, then you're definitely looking at prices to slide down further.
All right, so thank you so much for those points, and that's all for the news. And we'll be heading outside for the Market Pulse.
November 2025 market update, top 5 gains, top 5 losses, looking at the median prices. Let's see how things have changed compared to last year, same time. Starting with the top 5 gains, or ones that have held up at least, is in the York region and in Stouffville. moved from 1,057,500 in 2024 to 1,101,000 in 2025, and that's a 4% gain. That's the strongest on the list as well. In Halton Hills was basically flat, going from 901,000 to 903,750 with a 0.3% increase. Well, not everything in this group held up. King, also in the York region, dipped from 2,225,000 to 287,000 with a 2% decrease. Georgina in the York region slipped from 795,000 to 777,000, also down 2%. And lastly, Mississauga in the Peel region moved from 910,000 to 880,000 with a 3% decline. Now looking at the top 5 losses. Scugog in the Durham region fell from 1,072,500 in 2024 to under a million in 2025 at 748,801 with a 30% drop. Uxbridge went from 1,192,500 to 887,500, down 26% as well. And Brock declined from 667,500 to 562,000 with a 16% drop. York region and Richmond Hill and York region fell from 127,500 to 1,101,000, down 14%. And lastly, Vaughan dropped from 1,206,500 to 1,053,000 with a 13% decline. And that's all for the month of November. And let's see you guys inside.
So the first property is in Bake Village, where we are looking at prime mixed-use asset located in a high-traffic corridor with a TTC right at your doorstep. This property offers incredible visibility for any business. The main floor features 1,000 square feet of open concept space, perfect for professional offices or service-based retail. Upstairs, you'll find a beautifully renovated 3-bedroom apartment with a private entrance, offering immediate rental income or a seamless live-work setup. Whether you're an investor seeking long-term upside or an end user looking for stability in a rapidly evolving neighborhood, this value-rich asset is a rare find that's ready to grow with you. Another great listing is 43 Watermill in Kitchener. It's a Mattamy-built detached home in the heart of Doon South. The thoughtfully designed layout features separate living and family room, flowing into modern open-concept kitchen with the granite countertops and a walkout to a generous backyard. Upstairs, you'll find spacious bedrooms, including a primary suite with a private ensuite and a versatile loft perfect for a home office or a 4th bedroom. Complete with second-floor laundry and located just minutes from top schools and the 401, this home offers a perfect blend of style and convenience. Next listing is very unique, located at 4049 Highway 6 in Hamilton. It's a high-visibility, 10-acre highway property that offers unmatched potential for investors and developers, especially with the VTB available. Strategically located just minutes from the Hamilton Airport and Amazon Fulfillment Center, the site features 2 fully upgraded, separately metered buildings with 5 versatile units, perfect for residential or commercial use. The property is secured by a gated entrance and a private fenced yard, offering ample parking against a serene ravine backdrop. With flexible zoning and proximity to major logistics hubs, this is a rare opportunity for a multiple family complex, mixed-use development, or a thriving business hub in a prime location. So our final listing is a stunning 3-bedroom townhouse in the prestigious Lake Breeze community, located just steps from the shores of Lake Ontario. This home is fully upgraded with modern finishes, featuring an open concept layout with high ceilings, sleek hardwood floors, and a gorgeous kitchen, perfect for entertaining. Upstairs, you'll find the convenience of second-floor laundry and a spacious primary suite, complete with a walk-in closet and private ensuite. The outdoors are just as impressive, with a fenced backyard for summer barbecues and a new park and scenic trails right across the street. With quick access to Highway 401, 115, and 35, this home perfectly blends lakeside tranquility with everyday convenience. So let's head back to the streets and see what the people are talking about.
Today we're in downtown Toronto. We're going to see what people think about renting or owning in Toronto. Keep dog.
Debo, stop. That's not for you. That's not a toy. That's not a toy.
Oh, he thinks that
Yeah.
is.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Chill.
It's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
So do you own or do you rent Toronto?
I own.
You own?
Yeah, I own my place.
And what would you think is the benefit of owning versus renting?
I mean, for me, it's more so just financial. Because like with rent, you already know that it's going, to. Like you're not basically accruing any value over time, whereas like if you own, yes, you're paying a lot of mortgage, and depending on the rates, the math might not like really be in your favor, but at least like the underlying property's value would hopefully go up. But yeah, it's a calculation that like everybody should be able to do.
And if you don't mind me asking, like how much you paid on a down payment to own?
I think it was like around 120K, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
And what do you do to be able to afford living in here?
Oh, like my job?
Yeah.
I'm a software engineer.
Nice. That's nice. And you work here as well in downtown?
Yes, but I work remotely, so it's
it's
it's a company that's I think U.S. based, so this is where I'm working.
And what advice would you give to like younger generation for them to be able to, eventually, hopefully, own in Toronto or, owning in general property?
Owning in general, I think basically my advice would be to invest. Kind of take a look at what asset classes are going to take off. I think different generations have different asset classes. You got to just be like aware of it. For example, like our generation kind of, crypto did really well.
Right.
I mean, that's not crypto buy advice or anything, but it's basically like over the years, just like kind of keep an eye out, and to the extent that you can do, I don't know, like 95% safe investments, and then maybe 5% like more risky stuff that you think like are the asset classes of your generation that are going to take off.
That's amazing advice. Thank you. And lastly, I should have asked it earlier, but like, what age were you when you first got your property?
I think I was 25 or 25, 26 in between there.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sorry, what was his name?
Nemo.
All right. Nemo? All right. So do you own or do you rent?
I rent.
And if you don't mind me asking, how much do you pay for rent?
I pay like $2,300.
And is it by yourself or do you have like a partner with?
No, by myself.
And how are you able to afford rent here in Toronto? And do you think it's a manageable amount?
I mean, with my income, it is. I would love to pay less if possible. In terms of manageable, I think it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Especially for like younger people.
And do you see yourself owning, hopefully in the future, of having a home and here?
Yes. I mean, work is in the city, and I think so, but I don't know. I mean, without any support from parents or anything, it's hard.
So do you see yourself maybe owning outside of Toronto, like maybe?
I don't have a plan yet.
Fair enough. And so do you have any, like, if you don't mind me asking, do you have any money set aside to hopefully in your future be able to get a home?
Yes, I do. Not where I wish it was, but I do.
No worries. And last question, I should have asked it earlier. What do you do to be able to afford rent in Toronto?
Well, I work for the government as a commercial advisor.
All right, thank you so much for your time. All right. So do you rent or do you own?
I live with my parents.
Do you see yourself owning real estate in the near future though?
I'd say maybe in 10 years.
And do you have money set aside right now to eventually buy real estate?
I'm currently working on that. It's slowly in the works.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you have saved for at least?
$2,000.
That's good. Do you see yourself buying real estate in Toronto, or would you prefer, somewhere outside?
I'd prefer maybe a little outside of Toronto, maybe North York area.
So do you currently do you live in Toronto?
No.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Have you always lived in Toronto?
Yes, ever since I came 3 years ago, I've always lived in Toronto.
And how do you like it so far compared to where you were before?
Well, I like it for the most part, yes, but like some things here and there I don't like. But for the most part, I enjoy living here.
And do you see yourself getting property here in Toronto anytime soon?
Yes, man, if the time is right and if I'm in a good situation, I'll definitely invest in some property.
Hopefully, wishing for the best for you. And do you have any money set aside to eventually buy real estate, hopefully?
Well, not right now, but I'm working on it, definitely.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
So this part of the segment is essentially questions that you guys have. We're looking through the comments of these videos and we'll see. And whatever comments you leave in this video, we'll answer in hopefully the next video. So first question we got a couple weeks back from a friend, so I thought I'd ask you is, do you still think flipping is possible in the GTA? And are there a certain area or pockets that there's potential?
That's a good question. But when people ask, the honest answer is yes and no. It all depends where you're looking for. But directly in the GTA, it may not be possible. There are some pockets where it is. You have to do your own research of what you're looking at. Traditional way of looking at flipping is like people used to do like cosmetic changes. That is not possible now. because you can expect to make changes, but banking on the option that the property values will appreciate, that's really the wrong way of looking at flipping, because that's what people were looking at during the COVID time, that people would think about buying like older home and then do cosmetic changes and magically expect to get $100,000-$200,000. So that's not possible now. So what they have to do is right now is, if they're investors, then looking at structural changes, like adding a garden suite, or adding like in a basement or something like that. So in this sense, like they would be investing money in it, but they would also be increasing the value of the home. So they can get like older home, make upgrades, add more value to it, and then sell it. So it's not a cosmetic changes will not making people money in the short term. So that's what I see in the GTA.
And I think there's a lot of concerns for not only investors, but when you say investors, also first-time home buyers. Do you think it's possible to get a home under 500K and in the GTA?
500,000 in GTA. That's when you say when you mean like a detached home. That may not be possible, but say like a condo townhouse or something which is on the suburbs of, if you're looking at maybe Hamilton, some areas of Hamilton, so you have to be picky of where you're looking for. Most of the people buying now are end users, so you have to focus on that. End users are buying where that there is accessibility. People are where there are jobs. So those are the places that you need to look into. Durham region is a really good option because that's where the property values are still lower, and there are pockets where in Ajax and Oshawa, those regions, and in some parts of Scarborough, and when I say Scarborough, it's not like 500,000 range, but that you can get really good value compared to what you're getting other places in Toronto, and Brampton and Hamilton. These are the places where you can get some value.
So that's all for the questions of this week. Now we'll be heading into the market forecast. And before that, if you have any other questions that you want us to cover, please leave a comment and we'll take it up in the next video. Now heading into the next segment, market forecast.
A lot of people are, expecting, sitting on the sideline watching. So we're currently on the last week of December, so which is traditionally the slowest time of the year. And what you see now is people who are really serious on the street. The buyers and sellers. It's not random people who would be like, it's not people who are browsing the market or looking for some random deals. The serious buyers and serious sellers are on the market right now. So serious buyers and sellers who are braving the cold because it's pretty cold outside. It's, in fact, we had early winter this year.
It's freezing.
Yeah, it's in November. We already had the snow. It's almost white, and so it's very difficult, for regular people to go out. So people go out only for essential, needs. But just for browsing homes, it's somebody has to have that essential need or a serious need of going out. So you see only serious buyers and sellers in the winter time. So, but I've seen people are going out in the past 2-3 weeks where people are going out, and there are been instances of a lot of multiple offers going on.
Yeah, the open house we had, how many people did we come?
Yeah, it was all back to back, right?
Yeah.
Almost 24 groups of people in the open.
And it was an inside neighborhood too. It wasn't like right off the street, someone could see it. It was like,
that property in Pickering, definitely it's a beautiful property. And then I was expecting activity, but not that kind of activity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. One thing I wanted to mention was all eyes are on the spring 2026. People are looking forward to based on this activity where spring market will take us. And if you haven't seen it, you have to make sure. I just want to make sure that you check out a recent video, which is January the new spring market, because spring is technically March,
mm-hmm.
but in the last so many years, the activity starts in January.
Right.
So that's what I've covered in that video. So, if you have time, you can watch that. The link is below, actually here. Yeah, somewhere here. So anyway, so there are a couple scenarios. What we can expect? A is scenario one is if you see a massive surge in inventory, which is, we have seen a surge in inventory, mm-hmm. and also if it's coupled with the power of sales. So if that happens, there'll be a lot of listings piling up, but the sales don't keep up. If we don't see the number of sales going up, then we are likely going to see further price adjustments across the GTA. So this is something which is very important for buyers to make sure and pay attention as well, and also for sellers as well, because where things are heading. the people usually prepare their homes during their winter time and then prepare them for the spring. So this is where it is important for the sellers to monitor that. And the next possibility is a sales finally pick up, and which is looking pretty likely. If that happens, means like officially, if that happens, it means that we officially hit the bottom in 2025. Historically, the GTA market doesn't stay stagnant for more than 6 to 8 months. We have seen that in 2008 and 2017 and before as well. So right now, with the tariff threat in 2025 and the mortgage renewal wave, we have seen a slowdown in market for almost 8 to 9 months now. So that would change. So what this means for you, if you have stable financing, you currently have the best negotiating power. If we have seen in over a decade, we expect inventory to increase, and as more homeowners face the shock of renewal at rates nearly double the previous payments, like what they had in 21-22. So while it's turning into a much more balanced market with plenty of options for buyers, keep in mind that high demand pockets will still have much more tighter inventory than the rest of the areas.
Thank you very much for watching our very first episode of Real Talk TO, and we want to wish you, from our family to yours, a happy holiday season.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.